In this video, I'll show you how to set up your navigation menu, how to copy it to other class pages, and how to avoid some pitfalls and common mistakes related to the navigation menu. First, let's define a few terms. There's a couple of different ways to get around in Edline. You have List View, where you can pan through your files and documents, just like you would with Windows Explorer. Both List View and Standard View also have what are called breadcrumbs. That's what these are up here. And if you hover over the breadcrumb, you'll see the file tree drop down, and you can navigate that way. Let's take a look at what that looks like in Standard View. So similarly, they're up here in blue. You can hover over and you can see the file tree appears and you can navigate through. Anything with an arrow is a folder. Anything with a dot is going to be a document. So you can see as you pan through here, there are a variety of different things in that folder tree. So in addition to breadcrumbs, we have the home button. The home button has the entire contents of the website. So you could technically navigate the entire contents of the website through this home button. Then there's the My Edline button, which is of course specific to the user. In this case, I'm logged into my Phantom Teacher account, so the My Edline button is specific to the Phantom Teacher. And yet another way to get around in Edline is through this horizontal menu with each of these drop downs. I'm sure you guys have seen and used those before. I'm going to go back up to my main class page here so we can look at the navigation menu. The navigation menu is this box that's on the left-hand side here. It can be designed so that users can experience the page, any pages, folders, documents, etc., external links, or other content that you want your users to be using while they're on your page, and you can do it by design. So the default navigation menu that I created for all of the class pages is displaying the default folders that are the class information and key documents, and then the unit folders that follow after that. This was just set up as a template that you can then build upon. Now, editing the navigation menu is really the last thing you want to do to complete your page. After you have all of your content set up through List View or however you're comfortable doing that, once all of that content is in place, let's take a look at it. In my class info folder, I have my key information and documents where I've put my syllabus and a list of required texts, field trip schedule, and then I'm going to use the breadcrumbs here to get back out. In my unit folders, I have several different resources that I've put in there. I have some assignments that I've put in there. Make sure you watch the Calendar Made Simple video because it'll explain how I use these and why there's an assignment folder inside the unit folder. So once you have all of that content set up, then you're ready to edit the navigation menu. And the reason for this is that if you edit the navigation, you copy it to a page that doesn't have all of that content multi-posted and copied to other class periods where you're teaching the same course, then the navigation menu doesn't copy quite the way you would expect it to. This will be a little more clear when I demonstrate it for you. On my class page, so I've got all my folders set up. I've multi-posted everything to my other class period. I have a second class period over here that's also this Clowning Costumes class, and you can see when I go to class info that the file tree is similar, that I have all of that same content, and if I use my breadcrumbs here to look at it, you can see that all of the information that was on the other page is also in this class period as well. So I'm going to go back to my first period for the demonstration. And now I'm ready to edit my navigation menu. So something that you'll want to keep in mind as you begin editing your navigation is that you always want to be at this top level of your class page. And the reason for that is that if you edit something that's deeper in, like one of your subpages, a folder or a document, when you edit the navigation on one of those pages, it'll only be reflected on that page and anything beneath it in the file tree. So for that reason, you always want to be at the top class page when you're editing navigation. Just click on the pencil to do so. Once you're in the navigation menu editor, you'll see the default design appear on the right in color. This is the default design that we put on every class page. And the information on the left is the actual content of your class page. so the actual folder tree that exists in your class page. And if I expand this class info folder, it'll look really similar to what we saw in list view. For the purposes of my page, I want my students to be able to navigate directly to those pages. I don't want them to have to go through the class info folder the way that I do when I'm in list view. And remember that the class info folder is at that top level for a reason. So be sure to watch that Calendar Made Simple video for more information about that. Now, while all of these folders, these unit folders, would still work, the links would still work, I really want the full name of the folder to appear. And because I just renamed the folders over here, these links will still work in the default design, but it's just a process of dragging and dropping for me to get these full names over here. So I'm just going to take care of that really quickly. And I'm going to get rid of these duplicate folders because they are in fact duplicates. I'm also going to add a link right here to the main class page at the very top of my folder tree here. And the reason for doing that is because it'll make it just a little bit easier for students as they click around in the folders and around the class web page or website to be able to navigate back to the main page. Now, here is a pitfall to avoid. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's an option down here to create a custom link. It really isn't named well because it has the appearance of creating additional web pages. You can just drag and drop it, and you think that you've created another page. In actuality, you've created a link to nowhere. It doesn't have any content. If you hit the edit button, you can put a custom link in right here, so an external website or something like that, but it's not very reliable in the mobile responsive version of the website. So you want to be really careful about using them, and I would actually advise against not using these custom links at all. Instead, unless you're going to use it to browse and go to the Peak to Peak Charter School or Peak to Peak website somewhere else. So this is the full file tree for the entire website. So I would actually recommend not using that and instead create a custom link in your class info folder or in your subfolder, whatever it may be, where instead of adding a document or another folder, you just add a link. And that way the content actually exists. And this will be a little bit more reliable on the mobile responsive view of the website. So in short, just be very careful with this tool down here. I'm going to hit the save button here just to check the page, make sure that this is what I was hoping for. There's my navigation menu as I designed it to be. If we go look at my second period class, same course, you'll see the default navigation menu is still there. So how do I copy the navigation from this page over to my second period class? Click the edit button. At the bottom, click copy to. Select the page to which you want to copy the navigation menu. Make note that there are some other options here. You can link to similar content, or you can link to the original content, so the content that's on this first period class page. But if you don't select this option and similar content doesn't exist on the second period class page, then no link will be created in the menu. This will be a little more clear in just a moment. So I'm just going to say done. And Edline's going to ask me several times if I'm sure that I want to copy it. This cannot be, there is no undo feature for this. So just be careful. And once it's copied, see, it's going to warn a couple times. Once it's copied, then I can navigate to my second period and see that the navigation menu is now copied over here. However, there is one thing missing. If you notice, the navigation to the main class page is missing from this, and that's because it's different content, right? The second period main class page is different. So you'll want to go through to each of your class pages after you've copied that navigation and just make sure that that top option to go back to the main class page is available for students. So I just want to show you really quickly what this looks like in the mobile responsive website. This is different from the mobile application, but this is that same first period clowning costumes class, and you'll see that because I don't have any news items on the
website. There's no news items here, but these are the 3 tabs that default. The news, the events, no calendar items right now, and then quick links, which is the same as the navigation menu. And that's what I wanted to show you. So because I set up my navigation menu on my class page, now the quick links in the mobile responsive look just like, and then the folders look just like what's on the website.
Okay, I know that was a lot. Be sure to watch the other videos in this tutorial series for additional guidance and let me know if there's anything else you would like to see.